Well, I think all of us should be in a pretty good mood today. I'm especially in a good mood. The brand new cat is right over there, literally eating. Taylor Swift just got engaged to Travis Kelce, and I predicted it in my Happy Gilmore 2 video that I put up yesterday. Tomas can attest, I'm good at predicting weird shit, but I was definitely not good at predicting Forbidden Door 2025. That's probably the weirdest hodgepodge of intro I think I've ever done in over 200 episodes of this. But I don't know about you, man. This door does not feel very forbidden anymore.
No, it did not. It also felt like a very thrown together show. It felt like another AEW pay-per-view. And was the wrestling good? Sure. But did the impact of any of the show really affect anything for me other than the main event? Not really. I felt like I spent $50 on a special episode of Dynamite.
And even then, they screwed it up. Even then, they kind of screwed it up. But, yeah.
Yeah, like a lot happened on this show, but not really. Can we all agree to that?
It was one of the pay-per-views of all time. I will tell you that.
I agree. I agree. And the wrestling was very good. It also didn't help that I just got back from a week-long vacation, and the day after I got back, I was like, oh shit, there's an AEW pay-per-view. I'm also going to need some help with some of the builds of these matches because I will admit I have not watched one episode of Dynamite since All In. And it has been, so I kind of went into this pay-per-view kind of blind. Like I knew the general gist of what was going on in the storylines, but I don't know exactly about builds. I've been getting the build off of other people. And
dude,
I don't know. I don't want to come off as a sourpuss when it comes to this pay-per-view. This was a good show, but in the grand scheme of things, nothing really happened except for the main event.
Yeah, this opener, I have so many issues with build-wise. Like, Jesus Christ. And I said it on the All In podcast. Do not rush the reunion. But Tony Khan could not fucking wait to get a graphic of Edge and Christian in a tag team match in 2025 as a team. I know what you're going to say. It's Edge and Christian. It's the same guys.
No. Well, Adam Copeland and Christian Cage. I know why the reunion was rushed. All Out is in Canada.
Yep.
It's in Toronto. They want the big match for the Canada show. And I know everybody was predicting this is where you put the tag team titles on Copeland and Christian, but they fucked that up too.
Yeah, they did.
Managed to fuck up that too.
They did.
If you're gonna rush the reunion, fine. But if you want the end product to be what you want, very questionable decisions on this show.
Yeah, it's Edge and Christian going up against what's now known as the matriarchy, because Mother Wayne is basically leading this faction now. Unfortunately, the prodigy Nick Wayne is injured, so he could not participate in this match after hitting Christian with the Killswitch. But Kip Sabian does have a returning Killswitch as his tag team partner now, otherwise known as Luchasaurus. Really good to see him again. He looks like AEW's presentation-wise, he looks like AEW's version of Kane now. Like, you know, and I still think that he has that potential to be AEW's Kane, as long as you book him right. I will say, at the very least, Killswitch does not take the pin in this contest, so, hey, more power to you there. This was a solid enough tag team match, I thought. Adam Copeland does come out to Metalingus, of course. It's the first music you hear all night, and the crowd is singing in the O2. I forgot to mention, this is in London, so the show started at, like, noon, our time.
Yeah, not me just chilling, and then I look at the clock and I go, oh shit, Forbidden Door is on right now. So I quickly ran to Amazon Prime, purchased the show, and rewound it back to the beginning. So thankfully, I didn't have a lot of issues watching this show, but it was background noise for me. Especially when you have such a predictable opener like Adam Copeland and Christian Cage versus the matriarchy. Like, who do you think was going to win this match? Like, really?
Really, yeah. And it's just to give Edge and Christian a win before they challenge FTR for the tag team titles at All Out, right? You know, it's one of those.
That's what it should have been. The match was fine. I kind of like the storyline they're telling with, sure, they rushed the reunion, but Christian Cage isn't 100% in on the reunion. He's kind of like, I still don't like you, but the enemy of the enemy is my friend. Christian Cage's Titantron says asshole on it.
which I will say he's still coming out wrestling in a turtleneck because he is an asshole.
Which, let me guess, that's the jerkish thing you could ever do.
Yeah, I'm sure Mr. Anderson has something to say about Christian using the term asshole to describe himself. Thank God. But yeah, this was the crowd. The crowd is chanting Luchasaurus very early on because Killswitch is also Luchasaurus. It's the same person. It was very strange because it felt like Edge was the heat guy for a good chunk of it. But the comeback was made by the asshole Christian Cage. This build, imagine, Tomas, for a second, you're building up to WrestleMania 39. Sami Zayn is trying to get Kevin Owens on his side, and Kevin Owens basically forgives Sami Zayn right away the next night on SmackDown after the Royal Rumble. Like, they were very careful to not rush that reunion, and the hug that they shared was so impactful. Edge and Christian hugging in the middle of the ring on Dynamite was, it happened. Way too fucking early, but it happened.
Yeah, it's just a very strange. I don't know how to feel about this because this reunion already didn't do anything enough for me as is. And now just looking how it's being handled, it's just like, it's there. I mean, Christian Cage did so much to the patriarchy that it's very, very, very difficult to sympathize with him.
Oh, yes. Yes, and I'm glad you brought that point up because Christian is getting his ass beat on the outside. Mother Wayne looks down at him and she's like, "You had all this coming, Christian." And I'm like, she's right. Even though she's the heel, she's right. Christian deserves every bit of this. Deserves it.
It's like, I know it's wrestling, and we've flip-flopped between liking and hating people throughout the years, but you gotta give us a reason to like this person.
Mm-hmm.
You use Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens as an excellent example. And I agree because Sami Zayn's arc all the way to the Royal Rumble didn't end after the Royal Rumble. He still had to convince Kevin Owens to team with him at WrestleMania. And that itself took a couple of months.
Yeah.
But here they're just like, "Oh, you want Christian and Copeland? Well, here you go. Here's Christian and Copeland." It's like, didn't you spend the last 2 years making Christian Cage the most unlikable asshole on the planet? And you just want us to forgive that?
Apparently he's found himself.
How though?
How? Yeah. If he was such an asshole, he would not be so eager to get into the ring with his former stable. Like, and very early on, Christian is in the ring one-on-one with Killswitch, and he tags out and sends Edge in there, and Edge is like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Oh, I don't want to fight him. I don't want to fight him."
All jokes aside, when it comes to the naming thing, why is his name still Killswitch? He is no longer bound to Christian Cage. This is why you don't change names in the first place.
Yeah, that's why you just make him Edge and not Adam Copeland,
Well, they can't do that. There's a copyright thing going on there.
He might as well be fucking Edge, though, because it's the same presentation.
He's not. He's not, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And that's why I really can't get behind him in AEW. I'm sorry. I'm going to be that stick in the mud.
I know. He's one of my favorites of all time. I'm still going to call him Edge, because that's what he is. He does hit, him and Christian do hit the double execution on Luchasaurus at one point.
Impaler DDT.
The Etch-O-Matic happened on the apron as well, which I was
the
like...
Cope-O-Matic.
Has he ever... The Cope-O-Matic. Has he ever hit an Etch-O-Matic on the apron? I don't remember if he's ever done that.
Maybe not in WWE.
Nah.
But that's asking a lot to remember.
It's asking a lot to remember, yeah, because it is the hardest part of the ring.
Oh yeah, and if you didn't know that, can we talk about this commentary team for a second?
Yeah,
Excalibur, Bryan Danielson.
Fuck yes. Yes.
Bryan Danielson was on commentary because he's such a mark for Japanese wrestling. Who was the guy who was doing commentary for New Japan? He was good.
Oh man! Oh shit! I'm sure the New Japan stands are gonna be yelling at us in the comments what his name is, but I just can't remember it off the top of my head. The finish I did think was pretty well executed because Christian Cage does like a flapjack thing. Adam Copeland hits a spear in midair, and then
Walker Stewart.
Walker Stewart. Okay, yeah, that's his name. Okay, you had to fact check it. Thank you.
Walker Stewart, Tony Schiavone, and Bryan Danielson and Excalibur were all on commentary for this entire show.
And then Jim Ross comes out for the main events.
And Don Callis is on commentary for the Don Callis family matches. Oh boy, AEW and their commentary teams.
Why do we need 7 guys on commentary? Really? But yeah, so Christian Cage is the one that gets the pin, and he pins Kip Sabian. 15-minute opener. 3 stars.
I'll give it 3 stars.
Yeah. It was
fine. It was a warm-up match because clearly Copeland and Christian were going to win this match. They're still continuing the story, even though the story is all sorts of rushed. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to be that guy, but is this storyline, it's not doing anything for me.
It's just not. It's not. I mean, it had potential at All In, but Tony Khan just couldn't fucking wait to put these guys in a tag team match on pay-per-view. Like, let it sit for a month. Let the story play out. Don't let them hug until, like, at the earliest.
They could have waited to this show to do the hug.
Yes.
This didn't need to be a match. Yes. This could have been a segment.
It could have been Edge versus Luchasaurus or something, you know?
Or I don't know. I know AEW isn't big on the talk shows, but have Copeland do his own. I don't know. I know they can't do the cutting edge, but do something.
I mean, they could do the cutting edge if they weren't cowards, but anyway, yeah, solid enough opener. I like all these guys that are in the match. Kip Sabian, it's good to see him again, but it's very clear that he was the fall guy. It happened pretty much exactly as I expected it. So
I think one of the people in this match is very overrated, but that's just me.
Fuck you. Christian is awesome, but anyway, Adam Copeland wants a hug after the match, and Christian stops him, and he's like, I'm not ready to hug you yet. Even though I found myself, I'm not ready to hug you yet.
Teaming with me.
Yeah. Thank you for teaming with me. You know?
And if they're going to do that, put a little more storyline on the presentation on TV. You know, you do the whole, hey, we don't like each other, but we're going to team up to face these guys. This whole storyline doesn't make sense to me. You have a guy in Christian Cage who physically and verbally and mentally abused his faction for well over a year. They finally stand up to him and kick his ass. We're supposed to feel bad for Christian Cage. And then you want us to want Copeland and Christian to reunite after they tried to fucking murder each other the year prior. And you know, it
doesn't track, does it?
It doesn't track. It doesn't do anything for me.
No.
This could have gone so much better.
Yes, I full-heartedly agree with you there. But anyway, coming up next, our first title bout of the evening, huh? And the first time a Forbidden Door is being opened.
Yes, this was a fun one. For the TNT Championship, Kyle Fletcher, surprise, surprise, he did end up winning the title from Dustin Rhodes.
Told you.
On an episode of Dynamite in a street fight. Is taking on Hiromu Takahashi from New Japan Pro Wrestling, defending the title against him, against the Time Bomb. This was a fun match. I like this match.
It was good. It was really good. I mean, again,
Kyle Fletcher is such a good wrestler. He's so stiff, and he is the king of the dangerous spots. Because this man be doing stuff that people should not be surviving, like brainbusters on the apron, brainbusters off the top rope. This man has such a dangerous arsenal. Tombstones on the floor. It's just that he has such a dangerous arsenal. These should all be finishers.
Yes, which, again, AEW likes people kicking out of the tombstone because I guess they're not fans of The Undertaker. So they want to make sure they bury his finishing maneuver. The key thing to point out here, though, Kyle Fletcher, huge future in this business. And I will continue to die on that hill. The man is only 26 years old. He finally has won the TNT Championship after I thought he was going to at All In against Adam Cole, and Adam Cole would put him over. But again, like I predicted, fucking brutalized Dustin Rhodes, didn't he? Like, holy cow, he looked like a killer coming out of that street fight. Dustin Rhodes was written off to go have double knee replacement surgery. I'm glad he got his moment at least, but I knew the reign was not going to last very long. If
this is the end of Dustin Rhodes' in-ring career, what a hell of a note to go out on.
Jeez, man.
Like, this man is tough as nails, and he will go down as a legend in this business.
Mm-hmm.
So if this is the end of Dustin Rhodes, thank you. Thank you, Dustin.
Thank you, Dustin. Kyle Fletcher could also potentially say that he's the man who retired Dustin Rhodes and put him on the shelf permanently. But yeah, this was a good match. And again, foregone conclusion of a result. I think everybody knew that Fletcher was retaining. But I'm going to give credit to Takahashi where it's due, because this man made you believe that he could potentially beat this guy. Really good near falls throughout this thing. They got a lot of time too, 17 minutes. And they
did
pulling out all the stops.
Still, good enough.
Yeah.
A good amount of time though.
Yeah. No, this was a really, really solid match, I thought. Again, Kyle Fletcher has tombstones that are being kicked out of. And the sheer drop brainbuster is what puts Takahashi away. 3.5 stars, I thought. Really good match, I thought.
If there is one thing I'm going to give this pay-per-view credit for, there were 9 matches on the main show. All of these matches felt like they got enough time. Well, almost all of these matches got enough time that they felt important. Like, none of these felt like, I don't want to watch this because I'm tired. This could have been on Dynamite. This could have been on Collision. These matches did feel like they needed to be on this show.
Yeah, well, and the TNT Championship, if I'm being real with everybody, has not felt important since Adam Copeland held it.
Yeah.
So I'm hopeful that this reign for Kyle Fletcher, who I will sit here and say is the next generation's Randy Orton, because this guy, with his arsenal and how dangerous he is in the ring and how methodical he can be, he reminds me way more of Randy Orton than Miles Bourne does. All due respect.
Yeah, I think people just are reminded of Randy Orton, Miles Bourne just because he looks like him.
Right.
But when it comes to the presentation, when it comes to what this guy is capable of, I'm going to be a tad bit selfish right now and just say, as great as Fletcher is, just because I'm a tag team mark, I sure do miss me some Aussie Open.
And you missed the Aussie, climb chant.
No, because that was never a chant. That was never a chant.
It was a great chant that we did at Supercard of Honor. That was so much fun.
No, because
Kyle Fletcher and Mark Davis in the Reach for the Sky ladder match where Dante Martin shattered his knee. Yeah, I remember that. Good stuff. Takahashi looked like a killer in there as well. He looked like a potential contender. I can't wait to see where this reign goes from here.
I also think the commentary job did an excellent job of putting over the New Japan guys, letting us know who they are. And Bryan Danielson, of course, and Excalibur, with their extensive knowledge of New Japan, they did a really good job of filling in the blanks for people who may not know these wrestlers.
Yeah. It was, again, having a guy like Bryan Danielson on commentary for a show like this, I mean, I wish the door was a bit more forbidden, and I wish there was a bit more cross-branded warfare going on. But it was
remember when the AEW title was being defended against New Japan people? Remember when the IWGP title was being defended on this show, period?
Yeah.
It
still is. It still is.
It's not, though. It's a different world championship. It's New Japan's American World Championship.
Debatable, but, it can be like that. But anyway, speaking of mid-card belts, my favorite of all time, clearly, Mercedes Mone, defending the TBS Championship, which is one of 9 titles that she currently has. 9! That's overkill. That's way, way, way too many belts. But she's defending against Alex Windsor, otherwise known as Will Ospreay's better half, Persephone from CMLL, and Bozilla from Stardom. Hey, Tomas, would you be intimidated by a woman who called herself Bozilla?
Well, considering the fucking ramp shot she put in this match, yes.
Jeez, yes.
So Mercedes Moné gets a special entrance, because she always does. She has these British soldiers, which I thought this was cool, all holding one of her championships. The funny part about this entrance was one of the soldiers missed their cue to put up the title, and he was looking to the side, and then he saw all the titles were going up, and he goes, "Oh shit!" and he puts the title on his shoulder. Here's my issue with this match.
I was so bothered by that special entrance. You want me to tell you why?
Why?
As cool as it was, that was basically me sitting there and saying, well, gee, I wonder who wins this match. Because she was the only one who got a special entrance. Bozilla, Windsor, and Persephone go out there like normal schmoes. Mercedes gets the big grandiose entrance. She's wearing NWO gear, which I will appreciate. The text on her knee pads was CEO and Mone and the NWO text. That was fire. But the match I thought was pretty good wrestling. Yes, okay, fine. There were some good suicide dives. Persephone looked really good. Bozilla had her moments of being a Lady Hoss. They did a quadruple Tower of Doom spot because, of course, in these mid-card title matches, you have to have a Tower of Doom spot somewhere.
You know what my issue with this match was?
What's that?
I think you said it all right there. Persephone looked really good. Bozilla looked like a Haas.
Yeah.
Alec Windsor is being pushed as this new and upcoming star in AEW. Don't you think any of these ladies could have benefited from winning this TBS title?
No, because you got to make sure Mercedes beats Jade Cargill's record and erases her from the history books. Because Tony's petty as fuck.
I want to like AEW's women's roster. I do like AEW's women's roster.
Yeah.
But it's very difficult. You cannot sit there and tell me that this women's division is better than WWE's, better than NXT's, better than TNA's, better than Stardom's. When you have so much talent on your roster, but your division is absolutely conquered, absolutely revolves around one woman and one woman only. You have two women's titles, one being held by Toni Storm, who is the most over character in the company.
Yep.
And the other is Mercedes Mone, who has not only been TBS champion for a year now, she holds 9 different titles. 9 different titles from 9 different promotions. Those are 9 different wrestling companies that she is not regularly wrestling for, and she is holding their championship.
Jeez.
How can you get any other talent over when your division revolves around one person? You know who this reminds me of?
Who?
Brock Lesnar between the years of like 2017 and 2019. When you have a stacked roster of Seth Rollins, Samoa Joe, Aleister Black, Ricochet, so many talented guys, Bray Wyatt, that could Finn Balor. Hell, even guys like The Miz who were getting over in that time.
Braun Strowman. Yeah. Braun Strowman should have gone over Brock Lesnar at least once, but he never did.
Sheamus, Shinsuke Nakamura, AJ Styles, Bryan Danielson. So much talent on your roster, but your division, especially on Monday Night Raw, revolves around one man. One man who defends the title once every 4 months. How can you expect your division to get any over when they don't have a prize?
Right.
That's what Mercedes Mone holding the TBS championship reminds me of.
But you're also saying that like she is the main event champion. She still lost to Toni Storm at All In. So I can at least take solace in that. That's the match I felt the most important because Toni Storm and Mercedes are the only 2 women that Toni is really pushing.
Yeah.
Like
you have, you could say, oh, Bozilla and Persephone, they're from other companies, so you don't want to put the title on them, which is very ironic considering they're putting titles that nobody has even heard of on Mercedes Mone. But Alex Windsor, you kind of made a big deal about her at All In, didn't you? That was her debut. She was the shiny new toy. She was the new signee. AEW has signed some very talented women over the past couple of months. Alec Windsor, Tekla. There is talent there. There is talent I like there. How the fuck are they going to get over when you don't have a championship for them to win? And when they don't win said championship, you do diddly dick with them. Megan Bayne and Harley Cameron are my 2 biggest examples.
Yeah. You
wonder why
Cameron should have won that TBS title months ago.
You want to know why nobody gives a fuck about Jamie Hayter? Because Tony Khan stopped caring about Jamie Hayter.
Yeah. And Jamie Hayter also lost to Mercedes. So she lost her in the Owen.
My point being, if you want these women to lose, that's fine. It's what you do with them afterward that matters. Harley Cameron lost to Mercedes Mone. She's done shit since then. Megan Bayne lost to Toni Storm. Haven't done anything with her since. The talent is there. but you're not utilizing it. And that's why AEW's women's division just makes me sad. The talent is there. I like the talent. It reminds me of WWE's main event scene, like in 2017 and 2019. The talent's there. There were so many wrestlers that I wanted to see be Universal Champion, but no, they kept the title on Lesnar. And that's how I feel here. I would have loved to see Alex Windsor win the TBS title and kind of get catapulted into stardom. But I think, and I'm not going to play devil's advocate to myself, I think why they're having Mone hold on to this title, you take that TBS title away from her and her little connection to AEW isn't there. She has all these championships from all other promotions. So they want to keep that TBS championship to keep the connection with AEW.
Oh, good. It takes her off my TV. Cool. I'm down for that.
And, oh man, I'm not calling people out by name. But yes, Mercedes Moné does need to drop all of these titles.
Yes.
She does. You can't make special treatment for her. You want to put 9 championships on her? Then you have to have her lose all 9 of those titles.
Yeah.
It's like what my uncle used to say when I told him Triple H is a 14-time world champion. His response was, wow, so he lost 14 times? Yeah.
Yeah.
So if Mercedes Moné needs to lose 9 times?
Yeah.
What are you going to have to do?
She's not going to be hurt.
For 7 million years?
She's not going to be hurt by it. She's not going to be hurt by one loss to Toni Storm, clearly. So, anyway, all that being said, I did enjoy this match for what it was. I think I gave it around 3.25, 3.5 star range. Mercedes does win with an inside cradle on Persephone. Not even a convincing win. Mercedes kind of escapes by the skin of her teeth in a 4-way. But yeah, I thought, Bozilla looks like the female Glacier in terms of presentation. She's a big, gigantic hoss. Alex Windsor, I think, has a lot of potential. Just can't realize that potential if you're still adamant on pushing the one person who we don't want you to push. So,
yeah, Alex Windsor is great. It's a shame we'll never see her on pay-per-view again.
Yeah, unless she is accompanying Will Ospreay to ringside once he makes his return. But in any case, Moné celebrates. She's not going to lose this TBS title until she breaks Jade Cargill's record, at the very least. But up next, more titles. And I'm sure you were very excited to see this match.
I'm going to give that 4-way 3.25 stars, by the way. I realize I haven't been giving in my star ratings, but yeah, fun match. Just predictable. Very, 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 very predictable.
Insanely.
Oof. You like technical wrestling?
Oh, fuck yeah, I do.
For the New Japan World Heavyweight Championship.
IWGP.
It was the New Japan World Championship.
IWGP.
No.
International Wrestling Grand Prix World Heavyweight title.
I am looking at the IWGP title right now, and it's not the same as NJPW.
Debatable, but anyway, let's keep talking here.
New Japan World Championship is on the line. Zack Sabre Jr. defending against Nigel McGuinness. There's a little bit of backstory on this title. There was a 4-way match on Collision to determine who would be the number 1 contender for the world title. Nigel McGuinness won over his protege, Daniel Garcia. So Daniel Garcia offered to be in McGuinness's corner for this match. Gee, I wonder if he's going to turn on him.
Jeez, man. Yeah, you want to talk about a telegraphed heel turn coming from a mile away.
Zack Sabre Jr. is such a treat to watch every time he's on AEW.
Totally.
This man may be my favorite wrestler in New Japan. He is, if I would have a close second to a technical wrestler other than Bryan Danielson, it's Sabre Jr. This man is just, wow. If you've never seen him wrestle, do yourself a favor, go watch him. I will admit his style of wrestling isn't everyone's cup of tea. He doesn't do 450s. He doesn't do moonsaults. He's not a Haas. He's not a big Haas striker like a JBL. He's not flashy. He doesn't wear colorful ring gear. He doesn't have a super elaborate entrance. He's a wrestler.
Yeah, as is Nigel McGuinness.
Yeah, wrist locks, submissions, takedowns. Very meticulous and methodical style of wrestling, but it is such a beauty to watch. And you put him and Nigel McGuinness in this match.
It's a dream match.
They even showed it in the pre-show package. It's a human chess match. And I was just in awe watching these two wrestle.
Yeah,
I was mesmerized.
So much so that the challenger does come out with a special video package where he's playing chess in the park. Unlike a Pixar short, he's not playing by himself.
Took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he's playing with UK wrestling legend Johnny Saints, actually. And they're talking about how, how Nigel's got to approach this. And they never finish the chess match. I never see who won. I am very curious to see who won that actual chess match.
It was the old man.
It was the old man. It was the old man. Yeah, of course it was. Yeah, it's an old man sport, I guess. This was, again, it got about 15 minutes or so. It was solid technical wrestling. I really enjoyed watching it. Sabre actually does outsmart Nigel McGuinness, who does make a very nice babyface comeback indeed. Like seeing his ascension into underdog babyface after being told he could never wrestle again. It's been a treat to watch that. Only thing missing was Bryan Danielson turning heel on him on commentary.
I need to clock that urban legend right now. Nigel McGuinness did not retire because he couldn't wrestle anymore. He retired because he didn't have health benefits.
Which is shitty. Which is so shitty. Yeah.
He didn't want to take that risk that he couldn't wrestle ever again. So he did retire in 2012, I think. Yeah. 2011 or 2012.
Yeah.
And he is such a stud. When he came back at All In London last year, dude never missed a step.
Oh, I popped.
It's crazy how much muscle and mass this man was hiding behind a suit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's an excellent commentator. He's another guy. If you haven't seen this man wrestle, you're missing out.
Go look at his series against Bryan Danielson in Ring of Honor and come back and let us know what you thought of it.
I mean, you're talking about two of the greatest technical wrestlers that never wrestled in a WWE ring outside of Zack Sabre Jr. in the Cruiserweight Classic.
Yeah, Zack Sabre Jr. famously told Vince McMahon to fuck off with his contract offer.
You know what? He was right to do so. Could you imagine what they would have did with that man in WWE?
Oh, he would have been relegated to the purple segments on the Red Show.
Mm-hmm.
So, Zack Sabre Jr. is so much more important than that. But in any case, it's literally like a human chess match. Nigel does hit the Tower of London neckbreaker. Zack Sabre Jr.'s boot is on the bottom rope, though, so there's some good near falls going on there. That is an excellent near fall with a foot on the bottom rope. Something else later on in the show. Sabre ends up flipping Nigel over in a crucifix pin, I think, and he gets the 3 count. He retains. Again, another result that I don't think was in any doubt. I don't think Nigel was winning this title. But again, credit to Nigel. He made you believe, just like Takahashi did in a previous match. I'm going to go ahead and give this 3 3/4 stars. I thought this was excellent technical wrestling. It did start... Zack Sabre Jr.'s wrestling style is not going to be for everybody. I am well aware of that. His matches do tend to start very slow. And he comes out of the gate with, almost a snail's pace. But there's a reason why he's doing that. It's all a part of his character, I think. It's all a part of his overall presentation. So if that's not your style, you're not going to like this match. But if you're expecting something a little bit different, if you're expecting something a bit more methodical, you'll really enjoy this.
I'm also going to give it 3 3/4 stars. I almost said that I would have given it a little more if the match was a little longer. But if there's one thing about Zack Sabre Jr. matches, they don't really have that third gear. Like, once he gets kicked into second gear with his technical prowess, that's the... I mean, I'm not going to say it's the best you're going to get, but it's the most you're going to get because that's the kind of wrestler he is. Yeah,
it's something for sure. Oh boy, do we want to talk about this brief segment real quick before the next match? So they just cut backstage, and Queen Aminata and Tekla are fighting over what? I don't know. I don't watch Collision.
They've been fighting for the past 3 months.
Yeah. So
Tony Khan, that's where you do a blow-off match.
Yeah.
If you want to call this female Rusev and Sheamus, sure. But Rusev and Sheamus are having a blow-off at Clash in Paris.
In a good old-fashioned Donnybrook match, which is going to be fucking awesome.
If you want to put these two in a street fight, I'm all for it.
Do
But
it.
you have to book it, Tony Khan.
Yeah. Yeah. What? You don't think people are going to watch Queen Amanada against Tekla?
Put them in a lights out match.
Yeah.
Run
Yeah.
back to Baker and Thunder Rosa.
Yeah. Yeah. Do it. We'll put both of them over.
Yeah.
But Tony doesn't want to push women that aren't named Toni Storm or Mercedes Moné, so that's probably asking too much of him. Speaking of, Jamie Hayter makes her return. She is evening the odds for Queen Amanada, coming out and beating up Tekla and her trio of Julia Hart and Sky Blue. Hey, cool to see Jamie Hayter in London. You're probably never going to see her on pay-per-view again this year. So I hope you enjoy it.
Look at those matchups we could see. Jamie Hayter versus Tekla, Queen Amanada versus Tekla.
Jamie Hayter versus Julia Hart.
But no.
Jamie Hayter versus Sky Blue.
But no.
We can't have nice things.
It's kind of like maybe AEW should make another women's champion. Oh, wait. They have two already.
They do have two.
One's being held hostage.
So up next, this match is so fucking weird, dude.
Oh boy, here we go.
We have a triple threat match for the AEW Tag Team Championships. Apparently these champions hurt people. That's my understanding based on their theme song. Bobby
They hurt
Lashley,
people, but they don't want to put over people.
No, they don't, because apparently they have creative control, and some people are denying that. The result of this match says otherwise, though. Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin are defending the titles against FTR and a fucking random-ass tag team that I never would have seen coming. The team of Bandito and Brody King, known as Brodido.
TNA loved their acronyms. They loved them. Loved them up the wazoo. They love their acronyms, and they love not telling you what those acronyms stood for. Ego. BDC. What was the other one?
The Beatdown Plan
Group. Oh my God. DCC. They love their acronyms. AEW loves mashing up names. They love it.
They do.
Tony Khan loves sitting in his chair and giggling over the mashup names he can make.
I have a question, though. Doesn't Brody King already have a tag team partner?
He's injured, though.
And they're known as the Hounds of Hell?
He's injured, though.
So what? Make Brody King a singles guy. Don't put him in another tag team.
You know what I'm going to say about Brody King? This is going to be a hot take. Brody King is AEW's Umaga.
Holy shit, dude. I mean,
I have never seen such an impressive Haas take so many pin losses. This man should be a killer. This man should be challenging for the world title. But every time he's in a one-on-one match, he's looking at the lights.
I mean,
which is insane to me.
It is insane. Especially someone who's wearing an Abolish ICE t-shirt should be protected at all costs.
Someone who's wearing an Abolish ICE t-shirt, who is selling those t-shirts, and who is giving the profits to charity.
Yep. Brody King is a treasure. Protect him at all costs. Meanwhile, he's teaming with the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion, challenging for the tag titles.
Look, I'm not trying to be the stick in the mud.
It's a random-ass team.
That this team is getting over. This team is very fun. But the tag division in AEW it's an anomaly that needs to be studied.
It's a random-ass team.
Never have I seen so many good established teams get pushed to the side for two people that AEW has nothing for. And good for them for getting over. I mean, they're getting over. I have nothing to complain about that.
Oh, the Hurt Syndicate was going to be over regardless.
No, I'm talking about Brodido. Brodido.
Brodido.
Regardless of their randomness, regardless of these two people should be used better. They're over, which is cool. But I don't think this is what the tag team division should be all about. Sure, I know I sound like a huge hypocrite after loving and being so endeared by Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. All jokes aside, I'm not saying there's not a place in wrestling for random tag teams, because you get some really good ones. Booker T and Goldust is the greatest example of a very good random tag team.
The Rock and Sock Connection.
But it's... not with the Ring of Honor World Champion, not with a dude that should be challenging for World Championships, and a man that looks like Brody King. It's just so, I don't get it. I don't get it. Maybe I'm missing something here.
Yeah, I don't get it either. If there are no disqualifications, then why are guys tagging in the match? That's what Bryan Danielson asked. Bryan Danielson legitimately asked that question on commentary, and I'm like, thank you. Thank you, God. Somebody who understands.
Bryan Danielson needs to brush up on his wrestling rule book.
These guys are fucking idiots. If there's no disqualifications in a triple threat, then why are they tagging in and out?
Because you have to have a legal man in the ring.
So what? So what if the illegal man comes in and pins somebody? Does that mean that he can't win?
Do you want to keep track of that?
Yeah, I would actually. I would, because it makes a lot more sense. So this was a fun enough match. There was actually the FTR does hit a shatter machine on Bobby Lashley, which I thought was very impressive. FTR
big rig.
FTR are very strong men. They are hurting people in this match. Brodido is hurting people in this match. The Hurt Syndicate is definitely hurting people in this. But we get the face-off that I wanted since this match was announced between Bobby Lashley and Brody King. You mentioned Brody King was like AEW's Umaga. Fitting enough, because Lashley was feuding with Umaga for a good chunk of 2007. So a lot of Lashley's greatest WWE moments in his first run were because of Umaga. I remember
that's a Haas match I needed injected into my veins right now.
Yeah. Next thing I need is Bobby Lashley to jump through a steel cage and lay out Brody King with the cage wall.
That's a Haas feud that I want.
Yeah.
Hell, I just want to see these two wrestle like 5 times in a row, like Sheamus and Rusev.
You could get a lot out of the Lashley and Brody King program.
Could.
But
will we get it? No.
I also thought it was very, very odd that MVP did not accompany his men to the ring.
Do we want to talk about that?
Yeah.
So, here's the deal. Here is the deal. Apparently, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin so far are not happy with the direction they've been put in AEW. I can see where they're coming from, but they have been booked dominantly ever since coming in. They have been very dominant champions. But what did I say when Bobby Lashley got signed? That's a man you put a world title on.
Yep.
And the fact that he's been relegated to the tag team division,
it's
a little underwhelming. You know what it reminds me of?
Aleister Black. It reminds me of those. Yeah.
Aleister Black and Keith Lee. So, but on the other side of that coin, apparently MVP has been calling the shots backstage. Apparently he has been telling Tony Khan, the Hurt Syndicate will not lose the titles to this team, this team, this team, or this team, which explains the triple threat situation. But on the other hand, Tony Khan, you really need to grow a set.
Yeah.
If the inmates are running the asylum, I think the past has proven that it's not going to end well.
Start telling people no.
Yes.
Be a boss.
Yes. You're going to drop the titles to these guys. If you have an issue with it, there's the door.
Yeah. There you go. So, no, but Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin are hot WWE toys that I've always wanted. And I can't say no to them.
You're not wrong there. So if the booking seems very delusional in this match, it's because it is.
So
and I find it very ironic that near the end of the match, the Hurt Syndicate get taken out by Ricochet in the Gates of Agony.
That's a random ass faction.
You can't hurt. You hurt people. You can't hurt Ricochet in the Gates of Agony. What have the Gates of Agony done? Oh, wait.
They're dweebs. They lose constantly.
If the Hurt Syndicate hurt people, then the Gates of Agony, they lose matches. They lose matches.
Yeah. How are Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin being beaten down by the only bald wrestler that's ever existed?
While being accompanied by the only bald manager that ever existed, because there was a point I wanted to bring up. Did you know that Stokely Hathaway is short? He's bald, and he gets no hose.
No, Stokely Hathaway isn't bald. No, Ricochet's
That's Adam Copeland.
No, Ricochet's the only bald person in this match.
To Adam Copeland.
Yeah, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin both have luscious locks on their head. Ricochet is the only bald person in this situation.
Remember when Vince McMahon said, I don't want to be bald, and the camera just zoomed in on Bobby Lashley?
I mean, well, Bobby Lashley's not bald, though. Ricochet is. So
remember who Bobby Lashley was representing at WrestleMania 23?
No, do we love Bobby? Do we love Bobby? No,
Yikes.
fuck him. Fuck him.
Yikes.
But anyway, because the Hurt Syndicate have creative control, they are written out of this match by Ricochet and his band of nerds. Are they aligned with MJF? Aren't they a super stable?
I don't think so.
Because Ricochet apparently was helping MJF out in some instances, but...
Can we talk about that too?
Yeah.
MJF is no longer part of the Hurt Syndicate.
He's not.
Apparently, somebody in the Hurt Syndicate didn't like the storyline. And you know what? I agreed with them.
Because they were like, oh, this is Tony trying to book MJF like Sami Zayn.
But it wasn't endearing.
It wasn't.
It wasn't working.
It really wasn't. But anyway, Brody King launches Bandito into the air for a monkey flip onto Dax Harwood.
Which was pretty cool.
Good Lord, but the pinfall was so fucking botched. So what happens is Bandito was not in position for a convincing cover, so the referee had to stop his count and restart. And then Cash Wheeler had to stop himself from making the save. That was right out of TNA. Like, right out of Vince Russo TNA. Like, nobody was in position for anything. The match completely fucking fell apart at the finish. I'm going to go 2.5 stars. These guys are all solid workers. I liked the moments between Lashley and Brody King, but match completely fucking fell apart by the finish. And if you guys are not convinced that the Hurt Syndicate have some sort of creative control, I don't know what to tell you, man.
Let's break it down for a second. Brodido are now your new tag team champions.
How?
They got no pop because the ending was so bad. It was so botched. And it took the air out of the finish, which I would have thought would have been a very feel-good moment for Brodido to win these titles. So that's issue number one. Issue number two, if the finish was executed well, Stokely Hathaway's selling of the finish would have been chef's kiss, because the camera pans over to Stokely Hathaway and he's just like, do you want a hot take?
Yeah.
I think Stokely Hathaway sells finishes better than Paul Heyman.
He is probably the second best manager in active, not competition. That's not the right word, but he's the second best manager that's active right now after Paul Heyman.
Do you know why I make that statement? Because if you watch Paul Heyman outside the ring, when he sells near falls, he sells it like he doesn't believe his man could actually win the match.
Right.
When Stokely Hathaway sold that finish, the sheer look on his face was, that was not supposed to happen.
It was
There's no way my men just lost that match. And that's what I want from a manager. When you're a manager, especially a heel manager, you need to sell your team, you need to sell your client like they are invincible. They are bulletproof. Them losing is not an option. I don't know why. When Paul Heyman sells near falls, it's like he's putting over the opponent.
Yeah. I swear to God, if Brodido lose these titles on an episode of TV in the build-up to All Out so FTR can defend them against Edge and Christian, I will lose my shit.
Issue number 3. The wrong people won.
Yes.
Because if you're trying to tell the story of FTR versus Copeland and Christian, the man that they took out that started this whole insanity, why are you not going to put the titles on FTR? I don't want to see another triple threat match.
Why are you not going to make the match even bigger and put the belts on the line?
I don't want to see another triple threat. I don't. That is so unnecessary for this match.
Yeah.
I understand Brodido are over. I understand. It's not their time.
No.
It's not their time.
Mm-mm.
This is one of those instances. Remember when we were saying Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns doesn't need to be for the title? This match doesn't need to be for a title. This match does need to be for a title. because we're talking about one of the most famous tag teams of all time, and them winning the titles in a grudge match in their hometown. You want to tell that story? Go right ahead. But you fucked up one of the main components. You fucked it up.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's no reason for FTR versus Edge and Christian to main event anymore because the titles won't be on the line. So you messed it up. You messed it up big time. I like Brodido. I like both those guys involved, but they don't need the belts. I'm with you on that one. Speaking of titles, I mean, they just keep on coming, man. And this match I thought was actually really good.
Yes. For the AEW Unified Championship, I know how much you love that name. Kazuchika Okada. Kazuchika Okada is defending against Swerve Strickland.
Who came out. It's unified. No shit. Just give it a cool name.
It's not going to be called the Intercontinental Championship.
It might as well be.
People's heads would explode.
It might as well be. Like, New Japan has an Intercontinental Championship. This is this is the merged title between International and Continental. That's logical, right?
They should have called it.
Am I the only one that's going nuts here?
They should have called it the Continental Championship.
God, I'd have a fucking heart attack, man. I'd have a heart attack. That's not a word.
Swerve Strickland came out dressed as Mr. Terrific, and I love all of Swerve Strickland's Superman cosplays. Yeah. And if you haven't seen the new Superman movie, it's good.
Yeah, it is good. Fantastic Four is greater than Superman, though.
What was so terrific about him, though?
I don't know. I don't know. The fact that he was helping Superman get out of a jam. What's so terrific about this cosplay?
I liked it.
I liked it too. Because it's also being contested under Continental rules, Prince Nana is barred from ringside, but Don Callis can be on commentary with Kazuchika Okada in there.
Well, I like the heel tactics by Callis by exploiting that loophole. By being on commentary doesn't count on being at ringside, but at the same time, why have the rule? Like that stopped wrestlers from interfering before.
Yeah, this match was excellent, though. I will tell you that much. I thought these two gelled very well together. Correct me if I'm wrong, it could be their first time ever match. And I thought they had really good chemistry. And again, it felt like this was sort of a foregone conclusion that Okada was going to retain because he just unified these titles. So I don't think he was going to lose it in his first big defense on pay-per-view. As much as I love Swerve, as much as everybody loves Swerve, it feels like Swerve is not floundering, but he should be a world title contender. He should not be, and I understand you're keeping him away from the world title right now because Hangman Adam Page is holding this belt right now, and you kind of want to keep those two as far apart as possible for the time being. Gives Swerve something to do, gives him a big match, it gives him a really good match with Okada. Swerve ends up hitting an angle slam off the top rope for a 2 count, and I'm sure Kurt is having a fucking conniption somewhere while he's eating his spaghetti. Swerve tombstone on the floor, again, a near fall, and I'm like, God damn, why not just protect the tombstone? It's not that hard. Swerve with a swerve stomp, but he was selling a knee injury. Swerve was doing a really good job of selling throughout this match, I thought.
He was the MVP of this match.
Yeah, and not, again, no disrespect to Okada, but I don't want to say this heel Okada act is getting stale.
Heel Okada just works different.
Yeah,
he works different than when he's a face.
Yeah. Do you like his matches better as a heel or as a babyface?
As a face, but I do appreciate the different kind of charisma he brings as a heel. I know I used to poke fun at the bitch and the flipping off getting old, but it's still over.
Yeah, no, hey, they still pop for the middle finger to the camera.
Yes.
That zooms out so you can't see it.
Yes.
But Okada avoids a house call kick, and Okada hits a Rainmaker out of nowhere. Match only got 15 minutes. I'm going to give it 4 stars. Okada retained. This, I think it could have been an instant classic. You give these guys just 5 more minutes and maybe add a bit more drama in there.
Agreed.
You know?
Agreed. The foregone conclusion did make it a little difficult, but I would have liked to see Swerve Strickland make me believe he was going to win the title. And this aftermath of the match, oh my God, was it me or was it just a bit much?
I don't know. I mean, I don't
So
know.
Okada takes Strickland and he puts his leg in the steel steps and he is just pulverizing his knee with the steel chair. Kind of looks like he's going to get written off for a while. And
Yeah,
then Prince
because
Nana makes to the ring with the steel pipe, tries to chase him off.
well, rumor has it that Swerve actually does need some knee surgery. So,
That sucks.
yeah.
Two of your biggest baby faces are out with injuries.
Yep. Yep. Well, hey, I mean, it probably would have helped if the Bucks won. In hindsight, it all in, because those two can't challenge for the world title, and both of them are out injured. So,
Yeah.
in hindsight, as much as funny as the new shtick for the Bucks is, in hindsight, probably should have put them over. Prince Nana runs out with a steel pipe, so Okada leaves and runs away because he's afraid of the manager with the steel pipe. You don't fuck with Prince Nana.
No.
You don't. But the big story is actually the big AEW return of the newest Don Callis family member, Wardlow. Wardlow.
Oh boy, here we go again. Wardlow is back in another stable. He beats the fuck out of Prince Nana. Here's the thing. Wardlow looked good. Wardlow looks refreshed.
Yeah.
Wardlow looks like he's good to go. But we're doing the same shtick with him again. If it didn't work the first 3 times, what the hell makes me think it's going to work this time? This is the definition of insanity.
It's probably not going to work.
No.
If I'm being honest.
Callis family.
Who does he have to wrestle? Because Swerve is out. Like, I mean, unless you want to book Swerve in a squash match at Wrestle Dream and have Wardlow just pin him in 2 minutes, which is insane.
Well, here's the thing. Is Wrestle Dream going to be in Tacoma again?
No. I think it's, hold on. I know this, but you can keep talking about Wardlow while I fact check this.
It's just that Don Callis family, the firm, the Undisputed Kingdom.
Oh,
How
God,
many
I fucking
factions are you
forgot
going to
about
put
that
this
stable.
guy in? And he has been made to look like a fucking dork in all of them.
Yeah. Wrestle Dream is in St. Louis, by the way.
Okay, because I was going to say, if you're going to squash Swerve Strickland in his hometown, that's not a good idea.
I mean, you could still theoretically do it.
You could. Is it a good idea? I don't think so.
Why not? It makes Wardlow look like a fucking killer. Like you should be booking him.
But you're going to piss off a lot of people.
So fucking what? So fucking what? Swerve is not going to lose a damn thing from putting Wardlow over in convincing fashion. He's not going to lose a damn thing.
It's the hometown thing.
Right, yeah.
But it's a good thing it's not. If that's the case, then I don't care. I'm all for it. But I just look at this now and go, cool, Wardlow is back in another faction. Now what?
Yeah.
Now what?
What, is he going to wrestle Samoa Joe again for the umpteenth time?
He's the one guy that I'm like, send him to WWE, please.
Yeah.
Please send this guy to WWE. Let this guy go to WWE.
He could be the NXT champion. I can see that.
He could. And I just look at it and go, cool, Wardlow is back. What are you going to do with him?
Nothing.
I want them to do something with him. I do. Wardlow was probably the first AEW homegrown guy that I got behind. But they don't do anything with him.
Except have him hit F5s and Swerve is down on the ground still selling his knee. Hits a huge power bomb on security. Hits a power bomb on Prince Nana. And he's joined by the entire Don Callis family. This might be what they do, actually. Because Konosuke Takeshita is the last one to come out to greet Wardlow. And Takeshita doesn't really look all that excited to add Wardlow to the ranks. I don't know if I'm reading too much into that, but it could be Takeshita being exiled out of the family. So
interesting.
Can
we look at that faction and be like, oh my God, what are we doing?
Yeah, let's look at this faction. Okada, Wardlow, Takeshita, Josh Alexander, Hechicero for some reason, Kyle Fletcher, Rocky Romero, and Lance Archer. That is a random fucking ragtag group of people. that have nothing to do.
I'm torn because the Don Callis family is probably the best faction we have in AEW.
Is it
But
though?
here's the thing about good factions. They all need a purpose.
They have not had a purpose really since ever.
When did the New World Order start sucking?
Probably like 1998 when they split it off into NWO Hollywood and NWO Wolfpack.
And why did they split it off? There was too many goddamn members.
Yeah, and you had to keep track of who were the baby faces and who were the heels, who had creative control and who didn't. So who could you pin and who couldn't you pin? Like,
do I want to go this far? Yeah, I'm going to go this far. This reminds me of Immortal.
Shit, man. I don't think Don Callis would like that you said that at all. But
it reminds me of Immortal.
Yeah, but
at least Immortal had a purpose, though.
Yeah, turning Jeff Hardy heel when you should never turn Jeff Hardy heel.
Let me guess, where's Skyler to say based?
Yeah, where is he to say
Jeff
based?
Hardy heel turn.
Anyway, up next for the AEW Women's World Championship, Timeless Toni Storm is defending against the Ring of Honor World Champion, the Fallen Goddess Athena, who has almost held this belt for 1,000 days. And I'm gonna reiterate a point that we talked about earlier. Even Athena does not feel important. I do not care that she has almost held this belt for 1,000 days. She's not Toni Storm, and she is not Mercedes Moné. So Tony Khan is not going to give a flying fuck about what Athena's doing.
Let's quote Solomonster. Athena is one of the best pro wrestlers AEW has, and she's been locked behind a paywall for the past 3 years.
She has. And we saw how great she was at Supercard of Honor when she was early on in that title reign. And I thought this character work was so damn good. I was like, I can't wait to see this once she loses this belt. And she never lost the belt. She still has it.
Here's the thing. I dig the Forever Champion. I'm all for it. I think it's cool as fuck. It's immortalizing Athena. But it's like, imagine putting Roman Reigns on I don't want to say a paywall because he technically is locked behind a paywall.
Imagine if Roman Reigns' 1,300-day reign was with the NXT Championship.
Good example. Very good example.
Yeah. And we wouldn't really give much of anything to it because we stopped watching NXT after a while, but yeah. And again,
I dig Athena. I dig the Forever Champion. It's just that now she's chasing the AEW Women's World Championship. It makes her Ring of Honor Women's World Championship seem inferior by comparison.
And this feels like it feels like such a foregone conclusion because Toni Storm, I don't think, is losing this title.
I wanted Athena to win. I did. I wanted her to win because I'm not saying she's buried now. I'm just saying you kind of taken the mystique away from her.
It would have been a burial.
Match.
It would have been a burial if Toni Storm pinned her in 3 minutes, which is far from what she did. But this part of the match, I had a lot of fucking issues.
Real quick, I know you're not going to know the answer to this, but can somebody please fill me in on the Athena Billy Stark stuff? Because every time I would even look at Ring of Honor, Athena and Billy Starks are a team. Billy Starks turned on her and tried to win the title. They're a team again. Billy Starks tried to win the title from her again. They're a team again. What's going on? What's going on?
That's why I have an issue with this, because Billy Starks is at ringside. Not even 5 minutes into the match, Toni Storm hits her with her finishing maneuver on the floor, which is a pile driver. That should knock that should knock her out for the rest of the match. Theoretically. And then the last 5 minutes come along and she is trying to cost Toni Storm the match. Do you have superhuman healing powers?
Apparently.
Toni Storm's finishing move is not very effective anymore, is it? Took her 7 of those to beat Mercedes last month.
That's like if Cody Rhodes was hit with the package pile driver and he walked out on his own accord.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. Tony Storm also hits a sit-out Tiger driver. It's very irresponsible to let a Tiger drive. I don't know why she's letting that happen, but
Now you're starting to
um,
get it.
yeah, I am. I am. Yeah, Starks gets back up after being hit with Tony's finishing maneuver. She tries to cost Tony the match. Out comes Mina Shirakawa to even the odds and chase the heel manager off. And I'm like, what was the point of the Storm Zero?
Thank you.
What was the,
I was
what
just
was the
going to say
point of
that.
that? You know, it's
If you wanted Shirakawa to make an appearance in the show, she should have showed up in the first 5 minutes and chased Starks off.
yeah. That being said, though, this was still very terrifically wrestled. I will
Oh,
say
it
that.
was.
No,
This
these
was a good
two
match.
have phenomenal chemistry. I almost called her Ember Moon. Athena still has what I think is one of my favorite finishers in wrestling history in the Eclipse. Like, it's so fucking dope. It's,
It is. How do you even execute that shit?
yeah,
For those who still don't know what it is a stunner from the top rope, but Athena jumps off the top rope. The exact precision you need to have to connect with that move is insane.
it's insane. It's insane. Shows you how good Athena is. But there was some good brawling on the outside. Yes. Tony Storm is drop kicked into the LED boards, which glitch out, and you don't see the LED boards turn on again until the next match. So good continuity there. Yeah, I mean, good wrestling, good back and forth between the two, good near falls. Athena hits the O face over the top rope on Tony while she's draped over it. Um, again, the referee was kind of out of position. I don't think Tony kicked out of it, but I mean, the inside cradles that they were going back and forth on, really really solid stuff. Storm counters out of the O face and locks in a crossface chicken wing. Imagine the precision to have that reversal.
Mhm.
Like, I know we just talked about how much Tony Storm is being, like, pushed to the top, and that's well deserved because this is a
Oh
great
yeah,
fucking gimmick. But Tony Storm is also just fucking great.
she
She's a
is.
great wrestler, And I always thought Tony Storm was a great wrestler ever since I saw her in the Mae Young Classic, And it's so great to basically see her be the face of AEW women's wrestling. So
So you mean to tell me that it really is Tony time?
it is Tony time. Yeah, exactly. Let me guess. You do have a photographic memory.
And she's the one who told me. She told me that. I
Yeah,
would love to sit and tell puns to Tony Storm.
yeah. Especially timeless Tony Storm.
Could you imagine that interaction?
No, she would just say, "That was a horrible joke. You watch out for the shoe. Have you no soul?"
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
So this was a good match. I'll give it 3.5 stars. I had a good time with it. It's just after All In, we said, what's next for Tony Storm? Athena was next. Would have liked to have seen Athena win this title. And also remember, this was Athena's title shot that she won it All In. So I guess the
I'll get
next
into
question is now, what next?
I'll get into my problem with that in the next match, but
Don't worry. I'm going to be right there with you.
I am going to go three and three quarters. Actually, I thought this was very, very excellently wrestled. The precision that these two have and the chemistry is just on point. But again, I beg the question: who's next for Tony Storm? Who is the challenger of the week? So,
When you do such a terrible job of building your women's division, it's a very difficult question to ask.
yes,
I
yeah,
mean, don't get me
sure.
wrong. I don't like the way WWE is handling Naomi relinquishing the women's world title right now. You went through this whole battle royal at Evolution to give Stephanie Valkyrie the shot. Just to tell her she's not getting the shot at Clash in Paris is fucking mind-boggling to me.
Yeah,
But I'm just saying, you look because I wanted to start off with that before saying this. You look at WWE's women's roster. Let's just say, for example, Naomi was healthy and she defeated Stephanie Valkyrie. Who's next? Oh, Rhea Ripley could be next. Io Sky could be next. Lyra Valkyria could be next. Bailey could be next. You have contenders lined up
man,
because those women have been built very well.
Poor Stephanie Vaquer, by the way, after winning the Battle Royal at Evolution, was promised a world title match at Clash in Paris, and now it's not happening.
No.
Congratulations to Naomi, who just became pregnant, but like you couldn't settle that debacle at Clash in Paris and give Stephanie Vaquer the match she promised and have Io Sky against her because Io
Sky
they don't
want to do 3 triple threats, 3 pay-per-views in a row.
No, I don't. Just have Io Sky versus Stephanie Vaquer one-on-one and then have that be the end of it. So,
but you don't understand, Zach. You have to have Rhea Ripley in the picture.
No, you don't. She's busy. She's busy dealing with the Kabuki Warriors right now. So,
are they really? Okay, here we are. We're divulging into WWE talk. Mm-hmm. The point being is that I don't think AEW has another challenger lined up for Toni Storm, and if it is, it's going to be somebody who is very rushed, and they're not going to win the title.
Like,
let's just,
I don't know.
For an example, let's just say an example. Let's say Tekla gets the next shot. Tekla's not winning the title.
No. Or like,
no.
Yeah, there we go back into the well and say that Deonna Purrazzo gets another shot, or Thunder Rosa.
Fuck have they been?
Yeah. Or what about Britt Baker? Oh wait, yeah, they're keeping her off TV
because gotta run out that contract.
She probably wants to go to WWE. But anyway, speaking of world titles, you ready to rip this Band-Aid off?
For the AEW World Championship and his first title defense since his first pay-per-view title defense since All In. Hangman Adam Page is defending against Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Holy shit, how did we get here?
Who by the way, I should mention is the CMLL World Champion.
Yes.
So
we're just throwing world titles on everybody now, aren't we?
Yeah. Makes that title feel pretty important.
Yeah, and there's your Forbidden Door.
But MJF is not Mexican. That's not a Forbidden Door.
So, here's how we got here. MJF was trying to goad Hangman Page into a world title match. MJF has the title shot. I like the idea of MJF kind of being that Mr. Money in the Bank, dangling that contract in front of Page's face saying, I can cash this in whenever I want. Kind of strange how Athena didn't have that rule, but MJF does have that rule. You see what I mean about this contract being very inconsistent?
Took the words right out of my mouth.
So you have that. So then I like this. The first part of this build was very good because Hangman Page says, I will put the title on the line, but you have to use your contract. I'm not an idiot. I'm not going to give you a free world title shot when you haven't earned it. So if you want your title shot, use your contract, you'll get your title match. MJF agreed. And you know what? That was fine. It made MJF not so much as a coward, and it made Hangman Page a smart champion. Until the Go Home Dynamite, where MJF, Ricochet and the Gates of Agony, threatened to murder Mark Briscoe if Hangman Page didn't make MJF use the contract as a title shot. So now MJF just gets a free title shot.
Yeah.
It reminds me of...
And if Adam Page gets disqualified or counted out, he loses the belt.
You know what this reminded me of?
What's that?
Remember when Seth Rollins threatened to kill Edge if John Cena didn't bring back the Authority?
Oh, and I hated that too.
Way to make your babyface look like a total dork.
Yeah.
John Cena looked like a dork.
Bring back the Authority. And then they
one of the best Seth Rollins promos
because it's the end of the year.
I will say.
What?
Still one of the best Seth Rollins promos. I will say.
You think so?
Dude was saying, you better hope Edge is praying to whatever God he believes in. And then at the end saying, that's great that you brought back the Authority. I'm still going to kill him anyway.
Glamazon. But anyway.
This was PG WWE. And Seth Rollins was dropping lines like that. So, you made Hangman Page look like a dork. You totally nullified the whole point of having this title match. It could have been do or die for MJF. It could have been, against all odds. MJF is forced to put his contract, use his title shot, and MJF's back could be against the wall. But they totally nullified that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to start off this by saying this. MJF shtick is getting old. His heel shtick has run its course. It's
Aha.
run the well. I'm over it.
So you mean to tell me that he should turn babyface and start using a kangaroo
He can be a
kick?
babyface without doing a kangaroo kick.
Hey, the kangaroo kick is pretty fucking dope.
Here's the thing about babyface MJF. Wiener, babyface MJF, when he first returned and kicked Adam Cole in the nuts, that's the MJF I want. He can be edgy. He can be a badass, but he can also be somebody the fans cheer for.
You don't understand.
doesn't-
You don't understand. Will Ospreay needed a heel to work with over the summer, and Tony Khan had nobody else.
That's what a tweener is, though. He can be a heel when he needs to be a heel. He can be a face when he needs to be a face.
But he hasn't turned face since then.
Whole shtick with MJF is fucking old. We get it. You're going to say something offensive on the mic. We get it. You're going to use underhanded tactics. We get it. You're going to use that goddamn dynamite diamond ring. We get it. I still love MJF. He's one of the best talkers in the game. He's one of the best pro wrestlers in the game. But the shtick is getting stale. And they are clinging onto it. They are wringing MJF like he is a rag with just a few drops of water left in him.
So you mean to tell me that at this point MJF needs to pluck one of those apples that he took from the Chris Jericho learning tree and find a way to reinvent himself?
Yes.
You know?
And it is so easy. Easy.
Go back to the MJF that returned from injury and just beat the shit out of Adam Cole. I want that MJF back.
Please.
Like, seriously.
Go back to the MJF that they were comparing him to 2002 Triple H.
Go back to the MJF that isn't cowering out of the ring and just rolling out when Hangman Page tries to be aggressive in the early going.
Let's quote CM Punk, "You're just a less famous Miz." Even then, the Miz has adapted.
That being said, this match was still very, very excellently wrestled, I thought. I mean,
it was a good match with a lot of glaring issues.
Wasn't as good as Revolution when those two wrestled in the opener. That was a fucking awesome match. That was a great match. Hangman tries to be aggressive in the early going. Bryce Remsburg tells Hangman to think about it when he has a steel chair, because if you use chair, you lose the belt. And Hangman Page puts it back like a nice cowboy that is not doing cowboy shit at this point.
You know what? I like the storytelling element. I think the match would have worked out just as fine if Hangman Page would have said, "You need to put your contract on the line and use your title shot." And if MJF would have just retorted with, "Fine, I'll do it, but if you disqualified, you lose the title."
Yeah.
Tit for tat. It's not that hard.
Quid pro quo, I guess. Yeah, there were some attempts at the buckshot lariat, but good counter into the salt of the earth armbar. Good near falls as we go through. MJF sells near falls really well, I think, even as a heel. Yeah. He's like, what the fuck? That was two?
Also, my favorite of all time was when we were at Revolution. The fake out tap out.
Fucking tap. Another fucking kick out. that's what we felt. So they introduce a table in this totally normal wrestling match, because apparently these guys can do whatever they want. Hangman Page hits a deadeye through the table on the outside. Bryce Remsburg, this man used a weapon. MJF should be the world champion right now. I'm just going to tell you that.
It's disqualification, though.
It is a disqualification. It should have been. And MJF also hits the exposed turnbuckle that he took the pad off of, and he does a blade job. The crowd chants serve it at him.
Disqualification, because that's the thing. You're not using it as a weapon. You're just slamming them into something that happens to be there. It's the same as slamming your opponent into the steel steps. It's the same as slamming your opponent into the ring post.
We're really overthinking this, aren't we? It's a foreign object.
It's just been a thing that's always been a thing in AEW and WWE and everywhere else, that I don't see it as a qualification.
Good lord. I mean, by that logic, the exposed turnbuckle should have been a DQ as well. Because MJF...
Funny that you say that the referee always turns their attention to go fix that. When I agree, it shouldn't be a disqualification.
But, why do you care? Like, why do you care? It's a part of the environment, you know? So, lot of blood coming out of the head of MJF. They battle over a tombstone, a dead eye for a
got a
2 count.
tombstone on a broken table. Are you trying to murder this man?
Apparently, because Hangman Page is like, chaotic good Arthur Morgan at this point. He doesn't have the badass Arthur Morgan music anymore. Went back to old school Hangman theme, but, teach their own. I am honestly sitting here and saying that I prefer the new Hangman theme. Is that a hot take?
I am too. No, I'm right there with you, but
Okay.
This is babyface Hangman Page. They wanted to kind of go back to square one with him. Excellent story arc. Not loving the beginning of his title reign, if I'm being honest.
So, Hangman tries to use the Dynamite Diamond ring. MJF wants him to use it because that would be a DQ and he would win the belt, even though he'd be unconscious. So Page instead spits a huge loogie into MJF's face. Like, good lord.
Christian Cage against Randy Orton at Money in the Bank 2011.
I really hope that Hangman does not have COVID. So, like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, that was disgusting. So, this fucking dusty finish. I hate it. So, MJF ends up hitting a low blow and a heat seeker. He covers Page. The referee is still down. And he goes 1, 2. Hangman's foot is on the bottom rope. Because Bryce Remsburg sucks as a referee now, he turns away from the shoulders and he counts 3 so he can't see the foot on the rope. And I'm like, circumstances, nobody was in the right spot. I mean, I said this about the SummerSlam match with Lyra Valkyria. Your hand slips out of the zip ties, you have to improvise. Referee, if you are in position to see the foot on the rope, I don't care. Don't do a dusty finish.
If you were going to do this, I've seen this done before. You can do the 3 count and then immediately see the foot on the bottom rope and wave it off. If they were going to do that, they should have did that. Jeez. But they tried way too hard to protect MJF in this match. They were more concerned with protecting MJF than they were protecting the world champion.
Sad. Especially from the guy who ended the motherfucking goddamn piece of shit Death Riders last month. But anyway, the referee never saw the foot on the rope. Mark Briscoe comes out and he brawls a little bit with MJF. Now the referee sees the foot on the bottom rope, even though he already did. And then Hangman Page hits a Deadeye and a Buckshot Lariat. The referee stopped MJF from using the Dynamite Diamond ring. Bryce Remsburg pulls it out. Adam Page hits MJF with the contract. 1, 2, 3. He retains. He's the babyface, even though he used a weapon. This match is so tough to rate, man, because they got a lot of time and they are great pro wrestlers. No denying that they have great chemistry. But they, match completely.
This match was also 32 minutes long.
This match completely fucking fell apart at the finish. Like,
I'm going to give this 3 stars. This was an overbooked mess. It did not need to be an overbooked mess. It was all over the place. The overbookedness didn't even make sense. You had interference. You had a dusty finish. You had false finishes. This would have made more sense if MJF's contract was being used. Because again, his back would have been against the wall and he would have been cheating ever so much to win this championship. But he still has the title shot. If the goal is to put the world championship back on him, then why do the match now?
I'm going to go 3.5.
That's fine. If the wrestling surpassed the bullshit, that's fine. I can't. You made Adam Page look like such a goof in this match.
I thought the wrestling was too good to rate it as low as 3. That's why I put it up there. But again,
so bad.
The finish docked a whole star point off of this. Because I was ready to give it 4.5 stars because that's how much I was digging it. But then the finish happened.
Yeah.
Good Lord. That's why you need a creative team, Tony. That's why you need road agents to put this stuff together.
I want to know what went wrong with this match. I want to know what the thought process was behind this match.
Yeah.
because I didn't love it. It was, and the fact that this is Hangman Page's first world title defense on pay-per-view and he's not even going on last.
Well,
kind of goes to show.
He did go on last. This was the sanctioned main event.
The fact that you're so okay with the Death Riders still main eventing.
Oh, no, Hangman Page did main event. I don't know what you're talking about. The Death Riders weren't on this show.
No. Death Riders went on last. This is...
Do you want to get into that then?
Yeah, because I'm tired of talking about this match. It's making me mad. It was bad. It's
unsanctioned. So this match never happened in canon. It does not count. So it is 5-on-5, lights out steel cage. The goddamn motherfucking piece of shit Death Riders are teaming up with the Young Bucks to go up against the team of Darby Allin, Hiroshi Tanahashi, Kota Ibushi, Kenny Omega, and Will Ospreay. That is a...
Imagine having a team where half of them are injured.
And a guy who might as well wish he was injured in Darby Allin. Fucking hell, this guy has a death wish.
You have Tanahashi, whose knees are being held together by paper clips and Elmer's glue. You have Kota Ibushi, who I'm surprised can still walk.
Yeah.
And you have Will Ospreay, who needs double fusion neck surgery. Or no. Well, he has 2 plates in his back or his neck.
I don't remember, but it's basically the same.
Very serious injury.
Basically the same surgery that Kevin Owens needed earlier this year.
Yes.
Will Ospreay is going to be out for a while, and that fucking sucks. That's a huge blow to AEW. And so, I was very, very concerned about him walking into this match knowing that he had the injury. It's different when you tear your pec right off the bone and you can't really hurt it any more than it already is, which is why, in hindsight, Cody Rhodes being inside Hell in a Cell, as gruesome as that was and as painful as that was to watch, he can't have injured that pec any more than it already was. Will Ospreay was in serious danger of paralyzing himself. So,
which explains why he didn't do a lot in this match.
No, except for that fucking insane moonsault off the top of the cage, which Claudio...
Because why not?
Claudio Castagnoli being the consummate professional, just making sure he is in the